There's a creak I don't step on, down the hall by the door, like the floor still knows the timing of how you walked before. And the air don't move the same here in the corners where you stand, like the walls kept hold of something I don't fully understand. I don't hear you like a voice now, not the way I might have said, but there's a rhythm in this silence that lines up with your steps, like the house ain't emptied out, just rearrange the truth, like it learned to keep your presence in the things it doesn't lose. The house still remembers in ways I never could, not in words or pictures, but in how it understood. Every quiet movement, every light and breath, the house still remembers what I have to forget. There's a place beside the window where the light falls just the same, and I catch myself not sitting there like I'm protecting something. And I don't move the small things that haven't moved themselves, like the house is holding order I don't want to help. And I ain't saying it's alive now, or that it feels like you. I'm just saying some places don't let go like people do. They keep the shape of moments long after they're gone, like they carry what we leave behind and quietly go on. The house still remembers in ways I never could, not in words or pictures, but in how it understood. Every quiet movement, every light and breath, the house still remembers. And maybe that's what lingers, not the voice, not the face, but the way of life once moved away, familiar space. And maybe memory ain't just mine, maybe it's in the frame of every room that learned the sound of your name. The house still remembers, and Lord, I feel it now, in the way I move more careful without knowing how. And I don't try to change it or make it something new. The house still remembers more than I do. The house still remembers. The house still remembers more than I do. The house still remembers. I was in the back room looking for a shirt, couldn't find the one I wanted, so I checked the second drawer. There was a sound in the kitchen, like a cabinet door, not loud enough to call it, just not quiet anymore. I didn't say anything, didn't walk that way, stood there for a second, then went back to what I came for. It didn't feel like panic, didn't feel like fear, just something out of place that didn't belong in here. I heard you in another room, not clear, not true, just close enough to make me stop like I used to do. And I didn't follow after, didn't need the proof. I heard you in another room. The sink was still the same, light still over the stove, nothing left out different, nothing moved at all. But the space felt used again, like someone passed through, not in any way I could show, just something I knew. I went back to the hallway, stood there for a while, tried to line it up with reason, tried to let it pass, but it stayed a little longer than I expected it to, like the house had done something I wasn't used to. I heard you in another room, not clear, not true, just close enough to make me stop like I used to do. And I didn't follow after, didn't need the proof. I heard you in another room. I don't think about it much now, don't try to explain, just one of those small things that don't fully go away. Not a story, not a meaning, not something to keep, just a moment in the house that stayed with me. I heard you in another room, and that was it. Didn't change the way things are, didn't make it different, just something I remember without needing to. I heard you in another room. I heard you in another room. I heard you in another room. Nothing more came from it. I heard you in another room. Started with a backroom lamp, a small one by the shelf. I left it on one Tuesday night and never asked myself. The shade was cracked along one side, the cord ran by the chair. It didn't light the whole room up, just proved the room was there. At first it made the hallway soft when I came in late. Then it helped me miss the corner where the floorboard dips away. Then days went by, then weeks went by, and it became a thing, like checking locks or rinsing cups or leaving keys by the sink. The lamp I never turned off, wasn't waiting for a sign, wasn't burning for forgiveness, wasn't keeping you alive. It just stayed there in the corner, doing what small lights do. The lamp I never turned off outlasted me and you. I changed the bulb in April, bought the wrong kind at the store. Too white, too sharp, too honest, so I went back and bought one more. The warmer one looked better, made the dust look less like dust, made the room feel almost normal in a way I didn't trust. People notice when they come by, say you leave that on all day. I say yeah, the switch is tricky, then I let him look away. It's easier than saying there are habits you don't choose. Some things keep on happening long after they're of use. The lamp I never turned off wasn't waiting for a sign, wasn't burning for forgiveness, wasn't keeping you alive. It just stayed there in the corner, doing what small lights do. The lamp I never turned off outlasted me and you. I thought about unplugging it one Sunday afternoon. Had the cord there in my fingers, had the whole thing almost through. But the room went hard and empty before the light was even gone. So I put it back the way it was and left the evening on. The lamp I never turned off doesn't mean what people think. It's not hope and it's not sorrow, it's just the space between what a man can live without and what he won't undo. The lamp I never turned off outlasted me and you. It's still there by the shelf, still warm against the wall. The lamp I never turned off, saying nothing at all. That screen door had a bad spring, it never shut quite right. It dragged once on the bottom, then snapped back into line. You could hear it from the kitchen before you saw who came. That little scrape and rattle was how the house said names. Groceries on the counter, keys dropped in the bowl. Somebody saying weather's changing, somebody coming home. It wasn't music back then, wasn't anything profound, just part of how the day moved, just another household sound. When the screen door sang, nobody stopped to hear. It was supper getting started, it was boots in from the yard. It was ordinary living, making noise without shame. That whole house had a rhythm when the screen door sang. The hinges got replaced once, but the sound came back the same. Like that door had its own habits that repair couldn't change. You laughed about it sticking, said we ought to fix it right, then left it just a little wrong for another couple nights. Now it closes smoother than it ever did before. No scrape across the threshold, no bang against the frame. Somebody finally fixed it the way we always said, and I hate how quiet it got after it stopped sounding like itself. When the screen door sang, nobody stopped to hear. It was supper getting started, it was boots in from the yard. It was ordinary living, making noise without shame. That whole house had a rhythm when the screen door sang. I used to think a quiet house was something close to peace. Now I know some kinds of noise are what a home can mean. Not every sound is beautiful, not every memory is clean. Sometimes what you miss the most is the thing you used to not hear. When the screen door sang, it wasn't trying to say goodbye. It was hands full, shoes muddy, late sun in somebody's eyes. It was life moving through the doorway before anything changed. I didn't know I'd miss it when the screen door sang. Bed spring, old frame, one scrape, one bang. I didn't know I'd miss it when the screen door sang. The chair is still out on the porch, turned a little toward the trees. One back leg rocks on the floorboard when the wind comes through the screen. The paint is worn along the arms where hands used to rest, and every sundown finds it there like it knows that place the best. Nobody made a rule about it, nobody said leave it be. It just stayed where it had always stayed, and that was enough for me. I sweep around it every Friday, move the table, shake the mat, but I never pull that chair away from where you used to sit at. A chair beneath the evening, a little weight the porch still holds. Not empty like a missing thing, just quiet, worn and old. And I don't call it sadness, not every time I see it. It's just part of how the day comes down. A chair beneath the evening. You used to sit there after supper with one hand around a glass, watching heat rise off the driveway, watching cars go past. Sometimes you said nothing, sometimes that was fine. The whole house seemed to settle when you took your place at night. Now the cushion keeps its hollow, even after all this time. There's a coffee ring beside it and a book you left behind. I could pack it up by morning, could clear the whole thing out, but some changes feel too loud for a house this quiet now. A chair beneath the evening, a little weight the porch still holds, not empty like a missing thing, just quiet, worn and old. And I don't call it sadness, not every time I see it. It's just part of how the day comes down. A chair beneath the evening. I used to think remembrance had to ache or had to burn, but some things only sit there and wait for you to learn. The love can stay in objects without asking to be seen, in the angle of a chair and the color of the evening. A chair beneath the evening, still turned toward the fading light, still making room for silence at the closing of the night. And I don't need to move it or make it mean too much. It's just where the day remembers the shape of someone loved. A chair beneath the evening, still turned toward the trees. It's just where the day remembers who you used to be. Hallway keeps a certain sound late at night when heat comes on. A little click inside the vent, a little shift behind the wall. It ain't enough to be a sentence, ain't enough to call your name, but sometimes just the shape of it still hits me the same. You had a way of saying hey from halfway down the hall. Not too loud, not too soft, just enough to reach us all. I didn't know a voice could stay in time in more than words, but I hear that little rise and fall in places it shouldn't occur. Your voice in the hallway, not speaking, not gone, just caught in the way this house keeps carrying sound along. And I know it's only memory working with the wall, but your voice in the hallway still stops me where I walk. The linen closet, the picture frame, the switch, that narrow place between the rooms where every floorboard gives. And I don't turn around anymore, not the way I used to do, but I slow down without meaning to, like I'm making room for you. There's a difference between missing and being pulled back in by something small and ordinary that knows where you have been. It's not the whole of what was lost, not the worst of what remains, just one tone inside the quiet that the years could never change. Your voice in the hallway, not speaking, not gone, just caught in a way this house keeps carrying sound along. And I know it's only memory working your voice in the hallway still stops me where I walk. I used to want it clearer, wanted proof or wanted peace. Now I take it as it comes and let it pass through me. Some things don't need answers, some things don't need names. A house can keep a little sound without meaning to explain. Your voice in the hallway, not a sign, not a dream, just a part of what I love, still moving through the seams. And I don't ask it to stay, I don't ask it to stop, but your voice in the hallway still finds me where I walk. Your voice in the hallway, a little rise, a little fall. Your voice in the hallway, still moving through the wall. There's a mark beside the front door where the paint came off the frame. I don't remember when it happened, but I've left it there the same. The rug still catches on the threshold when the weather turns down, and the brass knob keeps a dull shine from the touch of other hands. That door was never special, not before that year. Just a way into the hallway, just a place to disappear. But after what almost happened, after what never came through, it started holding more than wood, and a lock I barely use. By the door you never open, there's a quiet kind of space, not empty like a room is empty, more like time left out of place. And I don't stand there waiting, that ain't what I mean. But by the door you never open, there's a life that could have been. I brought in mail through that doorway, carried groceries, rain and dust, let neighbors in on Sunday, let the cold air follow us. Still some evenings when I pass it, with the house all settled down, it feels less like an entrance than a question in the ground. I never heard your hand there, never heard the hinges give, never saw you in that porch light with a reason to come in. But the almost has a body in a house that keeps too much, and it leans there in the doorway without ever needing touch. By the door you never open, there's a quiet kind of space, not empty like a room is empty, more like time left out of place. And I don't stand there waiting, that ain't what I mean. But by the door you never open, there's a life that could have been. Some losses have a date, some endings leave a sound, some things never happen, still don't leave the house. I used to think the real things were the only things that stayed, but almost can leave fingerprints in a different kind of way. By the door you never opened, I don't ask what might have changed. I just notice how the evening falls different on that frame. And I don't need an answer, I don't need the scene, but by the door you never opened, there's still room for what could have been. By the door you never opened, the paint still wears away. By the door you never opened, the house keeps that space. Kitchen light comes on at sundown, same time every day. Not bright enough to fill the house, just enough to hold its shape. It lands across the counter where the coffee used to cool, and makes the old white cabinets look less empty than they do. I don't turn on every lamp now, don't need the whole place lit, just that one above the sink where the evening settles in. It catches on the faucet and the glass beside the drain, and for a little while the room feels almost used again. The kitchen light at sundown still knows what to do, makes a house feel like a house when the day is almost through. And I don't call it comfort, but I don't call it pain. It's just the kitchen light at sundown, holding what remains. There's a chair pushed under the table, there's a tile on the stove, there's a grocery list from months ago I never took down or rewrote. Nothing here is sacred, not the plates or window shade, but small things start to matter when too much has gone away. You used to stand there after dinner with both hands in the sink, talking through the running water about ordinary things. Now the room don't ask for talking, it don't ask me to explain. It just keeps a little yellow where the dark comes in again. The kitchen light at sundown still knows what to do, makes a house feel like a house when the day is almost through. And I don't call it comfort, but I don't call it pain. It's just a kitchen light at sundown, holding what remains. I used to think of homeless people moving through the rooms. Now I think it's also habits that keep moving after you. One switch, one sink, one evening, one quiet and little glow, one place where the day can end without feeling all alone. The kitchen light at sundown doesn't fix a thing, doesn't bring back what is gone, doesn't make the old phone ring, but it gives a dark an edge, and it gives a room a name. Just a kitchen light at sundown, holding what remains. The kitchen light at sundown, soft above the scene, just enough to hold the room, just enough to think. Some houses don't forget, they just don't say it loud. They keep it in the corners where the dust don't get swept out. In the nail holes by the doorway, in the stain beside the stove, in the place the old floor darkened where somebody always stood. This one keeps its records in ways you wouldn't see. A loose board in the hallway, a drawer that sticks on 3, a window that still rattles when the west wind hits just right, a room that feels more crowded in the last part of the light. Some houses don't forget, they just learn to hold it still. In the walls, in the wood, in the evening on the sill. And I don't know if that's mercy or just what time allows, but some houses don't forget what no one talks about. There's a mark behind the table from a chair pushed back too hard. There's a little crack in one plate still sitting in the yard. There's a closet that smells faintly like cedar in a rain, and I can't open it too quickly without feeling something change. People say to clear things out, make the rooms feel new, paint the trim, replace the lights, let the past pass through. But this house has its own manner, its own way of letting go. It doesn't give up everything just because I told it so. Some houses don't forget, they just learn to hold it still. In the walls, in the wood, in the evening on the sill. And I don't know if that's mercy or just what time allows, but some houses don't forget what no one talks about. And I used to think remembering was something people chose. Now I think some places keep what the heart can't hold. Not to hurt you, not to haunt you, not to pull you back again, just to prove that something happened in the rooms where it began. Some houses don't forget, and maybe that's alright. Maybe not all love has to leave to make it through the night. So I let the old rooms keep what they still know how to keep. Some houses don't forget, and some memories don't need me. Some houses don't forget. Some houses don't forget. They keep what they can keep. Some houses don't forget. The house is quiet now, but not the way it used to be. It doesn't press against my chest or ask too much of me. The floor still makes its noises, the pipes still knock at night, but I don't turn to every sound or reach for every light. There's a cup beside the sink, there's a chair beside the wall, there's a lamp I leave alone now, and a door I don't check at all. Not because they mean nothing, not because the feeling's gone, just because some things can stay without being held too strong. That's what the quiet keeps, the part that doesn't need a name, the love that changed its shape but never fully went away. And I don't have to call it back or ask it why it stayed. That's what the quiet keeps when the house goes still each day. I used to fill the rooms up with noise I didn't need, the television talking just so I would not think. Now I let the evening settle, let the dark come through, let the little sounds be little sounds without turning them into you. There's a mercy in not moving every trace out of its place. There's mercy in not making every silence show its face. And I am not forgetting, that ain't what this is. I'm just learning what can live here without needing to be fixed. That's what the quiet keeps, the part that doesn't need a name, the love that changed its shape but never fully went away. And I don't have to call it back or ask it why it stayed. That's what the quiet keeps when the house goes still each day. Some things don't need speaking, some rooms don't need a light, some memories get softer when you stop asking them to fight. And maybe this is healing, not clean, not bright, not new, just a man inside a quiet house making room for what was true. That's what the quiet keeps. And Lord, I know it now, in the space between the old sounds and the peace I'm learning how. And I don't call it empty, not anymore these days. That's what the quiet keeps when love has changed its place. What the quiet keeps, what the quiet keeps. I don't call it empty, what the quiet